Hi guys, it's me again. Okay, we're continuing this project. I believe this is part 3, and we'll at least try to get these 2 pieces done today. And this is kind of what I settled on, maybe attaching just a little dragonfly, and then I want to try to incorporate some agate and quartzite beads into this somehow, and it'll be more of a mixed metal. This one's just going to be silver, I believe, and then I'll just do, pick up the gold in here with maybe just a little gold charm there. This is going to be basically silver. It might end up patina in it, but I want to incorporate some beads. So I'm going to wash my stones, wash my ceramic or broken china pieces, wash clean hands, do my copper foil tape, apply the initial layer of solder, and then I will be back. And guys, I have an announcement. I mentioned in my last tutorial that I was attending a meeting last night of my very first meeting to a new club that I joined. It's our local Gem and Mineral Society called Suncoast Gem and Mineral Society, and they're located in St. Petersburg, Florida. But they're having their annual fundraiser show up here near me in Largo, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So it was fun to attend my very first meeting as an official member. I am going to volunteer a couple of days, just real minimal volunteering where I can sit down. It's at the information booth because I cannot, because of my neck and back, I can't do standing for too long, even sitting. I have to take frequent breaks, so I asked for like a 2-hour shift. Anyway, I'm going to be volunteering a couple days, but the really exciting news is that they invited me to bring some of my jewelry and display it there at the show. Oh my gosh. So they think my stuff is good enough to be in their annual show. And they're even giving me 2 whole display cases, and they're rather big. I'm waiting on the exact measurements, but I believe they're like 2 or 3 feet long by probably 2 feet wide. They said they're pretty big, that I would not be able to lift them, so I can't imagine. So I'm going to be going crazy thinking of and messing with displays and setups and all that, but I'm pretty excited. Honestly, I could cry. This will be a huge opportunity for me to have exposure to hundreds of people in my local area. And yes, I can even sell the pieces. I see that people have prices on their pieces from the past, and wow, I'm just blown away. So, and I'm also going to be able to get classes at like $3 an hour with their silversmith guy who's been pretty much doing it his whole life, and he's older than me, so he's probably been at it 40 or 50 years, and so I'll be able to ask him in-person questions and whatnot. It'll be amazing. And they do other classes like wax casting and making rings out of coins and all kinds of good stuff. Who knows? Maybe they'll want me to offer classes on soft soldering. Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm sorry, I'm pretty excited, you guys. And honestly, I can attribute some of this to, and I have tears in my eyes, to you guys and all your encouragement and support. And I just don't even know what to say, because without the encouragement and your interest in what I'm doing, I would not have had the courage to even show anybody my pieces. So thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and get on with the project. Okay, thank you guys. And if you're local, hey, come out and support the club, and stop by and see me, and definitely speak to everybody and tell them how you know me, and have a look at my displays. I'm pretty excited and, to say the least, proud. So thanks again, guys. Until the next one, let's move on. Okay, now that I gotten this far and I let it cool, this was cooling while I did this one. This one's still a little warm, but remember I mentioned I'm experimenting with letting pieces cool down in between different applications. So that's what I did here, and I can handle it now. And because I don't use the paste solder, it's not, you know, it's still, you can still feel the flux on it, but it's not all greasy, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna make the bail, and this should work absolutely exactly like using bare copper wire. This is brass, which is made up mostly of copper. It's a 16 gauge. I ordered this on Amazon, I believe, through Copper Wire USA on Amazon. 16 gauge. Not expensive because it's in the same family as copper, and it should adhere nicely. We'll see. I haven't used it before, but I'm going to make the bail out of the gold. This is going to be a mixed media or mixed metal, let's say, not media, mixed metal, because it's going to be silver and the brass. So I'm just going to use this little bottle to get a general shape, and then I can always go back. So I'll make like a horseshoe shape, cut it off with my flush cutter or whatever you're using, wire cutter. And because it's going to be nice and stable because it's a 16 gauge, this should work nicely. Something like that. And yes, I'm going to mark it so I get it on straight the first time. And then all I'm going to do is then attempt to attach this little dragonfly and maybe do some decorative dots, and we'll be done. So I'm not going to talk while I do this. I just wanted to explain what I will be doing, okay? In fact, I think I'm going to texture this a little bit. That'll look nice with just my block, my steel block, and my hammer. Just going to do a quick tack solder on both sides and evaluate it so that if it is not where I want it, I can fix that pretty quickly. There's one side. And the other side. Hey, he did it the first time. Okay, so I'm going to secure that a little bit better, right? And then I'll put the little charm on, and then we'll finish up with the little decorations. Again, I'm just going to do a quick little tack solder right on where the hook is or the loop is for the charm. And just let the solder melt there for a minute. We can attach it also over here at the wing. And these charms, as long as they're kind of a metal alloy, I think they're called, they should work. The only charms that won't work necessarily are probably like stainless steel, but brass works, metal alloys work, sterling silver though. I'm not a big fan of mixing sterling silver and soft soldering. It kind of, reduces the value of sterling silver. But that charm is on there, and the piece isn't too hot because I've been kind of letting things cool down in between applications. So I think that's super cute. And I'm just gonna, I don't know yet. I always try to maybe do some little waves or different types of things, but that's when I have a tendency to scald the solder. So then I go back to just doing dots. So yeah, I'm practicing, but it's coming slowly. So don't be discouraged, guys. I've been doing this a year and a half, maybe. Because I had like several months, 3-4 months break where I couldn't craft at all. So that was really sad. So that's why I say, if you see pictures on my Facebook or whatever, and it's, say, 2 years ago, that's when I probably started. I think I did start in March of 2022. But then I got injured in October of that year and had to take several months break from really doing any crafting. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, and then I'll share that with you. I'm gonna try and share this with you. I just kind of stumbled on it because, again, like I just said, I'm always trying to do something a little bit different with texture, and usually I'm not very successful, and so I go back to my okay dots. But this time, I don't know if you can see it, it's almost like there's little, it looks sectional. And you see the sections almost? So I'll show you how I stumbled on that. That's what I love about creating. You never know what you're gonna do. So all I did was make sure I have a little bit of solder, not a lot, because I don't want a whole lot more. And always Flux. But all I did was kind of lay a piece, let it cool a second, then just go right behind it, lay another piece, not a dot, but almost like a flat surface, and let it cool, and then do another one, and another one, and another one. And it kind of makes sections. It's interesting. I had never seen that before. I don't know if you can see it real well. But, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Here's the final piece. And I just continued with that, just where I tap and lay it down, and it creates these sectional looks. So I'm wondering, and of course there's that funky piece here, but that can't be helped. And so, again, that authenticates that this is broken china, right? But I'm wondering what patina would look like, if it would enhance it and bring out the sections. I'm leery because if I don't like it, like I said before, you're kind of committed unless you want to re-solder the whole thing and bring that total silver back. You'll never really get it back unless you re-solder. Anyway, what I can do is ask your opinions. So I'm not going to patina it. If you'd like to see this patinaed, leave a comment and I will go with majority rules. How's that? So let's do a poll to the general subscriber community. Should I patina this piece, black patina it, and see how it comes out? Otherwise, I'll leave it plain. And I think I'm going to maybe do mixed metal jump rings up here too, like 2 gold and 1 silver or something at the end. Okay, moving on to the next project, which is this little guy. So I think on this one, I'm going to use a 16 gauge tinned copper wire, and I'm going to make kind of a maybe a V shaped to mimic this V up here, or I guess I could do, yeah, maybe a round. The only problem when you do rounds is your jump rings slide quite a bit, and your piece can, you know, get cockeyed depending on how active you are. And then sometimes what I like to do is I pre-twist a loop in there if I'm doing, you know, other things, but maybe I can do that. Let's see. I'm getting kind of low on this pre-tinned, but here, this is kind of what I was thinking, just to mimic that. But I do kind of like the look of the circle like this, and maybe I'll do a circle, another circle. Let me use my ring mandrel for this, because I don't need it as big as that bottle, but I can do the largest area here. Oops, sorry. Probably don't need that much, but yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the silver, because remember what I was thinking. So if I do that, and then I wanted to run maybe the beads across here, we'll see how that looks. So I'm gonna attach this kind of the same way I did this one. I'll mark it on the back where I want it. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little texture as well and flatten the ends. So I'll be back. I just wanted to show you a little something. Being that I'm gonna put these, attach these on the side of the piece, as opposed to the back of the piece. I textured this, I flattened the ends, and then I rotated the tips in and finagled with the wire so that it would lay flat. Can you see that? On both sides. So there'll be less of a lump. So let's see how that works, okay? And I've got it in place, and again, I'm just gonna do a quick little tack soldering to evaluate it first before I go and fully commit. And this is why I love my little washcloth, because I can hold things without burning myself. And just let that melt a second and then cool a second. And then I'm gonna go ahead, it looks good on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little flux, clean my tip again. That quickly it starts to oxidize. pick up just a tiny bit of solder and just let it melt for a second. And I think we might have success. And I really love the little texture. You see how cool it shines? It really picks up the flash of the light. So hey, that looks pretty good. I can adjust that a little bit. But this mark in the spot, I don't know what, I must have forgot that little detail. Okay, I'm gonna get this, being that I like it, I'm gonna go ahead and commit and make it more secure. And then I'll move on. And now I'm gonna use a 26 gauge bare copper wire. Again, from Craft Wire USA on Amazon. And just take maybe 6 inches, 5 inches. I'm sure it'll be more than enough. And I'm thinking of running that little line of orange and blue beads just across the top here. And then I think I'm gonna like do a wire wrapping. In fact, I probably will go ahead and wire wrap that now. And I'm gonna do it from here down on both sides. So pull that tight, wrap that a few times. And I'll be back. Not sure. I think it'll be okay once I get it all soldered. I ran it across here, didn't like it. I fit it kind of in a V, didn't like that. Then I decided to kind of wrap it up here and see what it looks like. So we're gonna do that and see. I can adjust this a little more so those lay a little more equal. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and solder all this, like tin it and attach it, do some decorative stuff and add the jump rings, and we'll see. Well, here you go, guys. I like this one. I think that turned out cute. This one, it's real different. Again, not everyone will come out exactly how you envisioned, and I probably will redo this. Most likely the beads up here. Yeah, it just doesn't really do it for me. But what I do like is almost an obsession with beading. I did the front, the back, and the sides, so it almost looks, I don't know, like barnacles or something. It's the little beads are everywhere, and I kind of like that effect. And I definitely like this textured bail. So I think it'll be okay if I just remove the beads. What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave it until I hear back from you guys. So the poll is remove the beads and just simplify it with just a crazy looking beaded pendant, or leave it. And then on this one, the question was to apply a patina or not, to see if it brings out those little sectioned off areas, front and back. So I'm going to leave them until I hear from you. And again, majority rules. So please, in your comments, specify whether we'll say the dragonfly one to patina or not to patina is the question on that. For this beaded one, we'll say to keep the beads and maybe finagle with them a little bit more, or just to ditch them and leave it as a kind of a excessive beaded broken china. So those are the two questions. Be specific with me. Okay, till next time, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh,